Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Diets, Preps, and more. How are you? How are you? I'm doing much better. Much better. Hi, buddy. Thank you for all the prayers. Thank you for all the prayers that you sent my way. I couldn't be any more grateful. I really mean it. Today is November 1st, just so that you know. And I started this little journey of COVID on about 2.5 weeks ago. Yeah, I know. I wish I would have taken those antibiotics a week before, but I wasn't thinking. I really wasn't thinking, but at least they helped. I have a little bit still in the sinus, but nothing like it was. Nothing like it was. So I figured, let me put a little makeup on, feel a little refreshed, sit here and talk to all you guys. A lot of people ask questions in my video when I said I'm on my 3rd day of antibiotics. I thought I was going to come back the next day, and I said, what for? I still feel like crap. And a lot of people were so kind and so generous with their remarks and so loving and honest with their remarks. Because a lot of people said on my Facebook and on YouTube, I got the jabby jab and the boosters, and I still ended up getting it 3 times. And I went, oh my goodness, oh my gracious. But I wanted to get into it a little bit with you guys when it came to the doctor and the telehealth phone call that I had made. My friend Michael, who I absolutely love and adore, and who I've known since I was 5 years old. Can you imagine still having friends? 50 years, 60 years later? Yeah, well, we're still friends. And he said, you have to get on the phone. You have to talk to somebody about getting this. And I don't remember the name of it, but I know it started with a P. And I wanted to get into a little bit more detail with that because when I spoke to this doctor, finally got a hold of him, he said to me, well, tell me what kind of medications you're on. And I said, none. He said, well, you're over 60. Are you on medication? And I said, no. And he said to me, well, this is experimental. And this, do you have anything wrong with your kidneys? I go, no. He said, well, just to let you know, it could affect that. And I was like, no, thank you. No thanks. But we did talk a little bit more. And basically he was talking about if there was problems with your immune system. I mean, that was a biggie. If you had a compromised immune system, whether or not maybe you were diabetic, maybe you had other health conditions, maybe you had a compromised immune system, that's when he was talking about the shot, the jab, the pill. But he didn't have any of those things. And I thought, I just want to go through this with just taking some Mucilix DM, because my sister said take that. And of course I had my Dr. Zelenko, which is basically a thing that I take. It's for your immune health, it's for lung health, and I take that. And you could find Dr. Zelenko. He passed away not too recently of cancer. But you can find his stuff out there online, so you could look it up yourselves. And I used that all the time, every day. Because, the biggest thing with COVID is they talk about your lungs. That's a biggie. So I wanted to make sure I was protecting those by taking something for lung health. Because like I said, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a smoker. So I went, uh-oh, we're going to be in trouble. But I took that. And again, I was not immune compromised. And I knew that. So when I got the fever, right away I knew, you've got a problem. Yeah, Houston, you got a problem. Your fever is basically telling you there's an infection somewhere in your body and this fever needs to break. Well, it did take 3 days for the fever to break. And I was taking Tylenol because it's the only thing I can really take. So I was taking Tylenol to try to break the fever. I put a cold rag on my head, a cold ice pack. And finally, by Friday, the fever was gone and it broke. So I was thrilled. Then the headaches started. Oh my God, they're glorious. But it was all sinus related. And that's when I thought to myself, am I having a sinus infection on top of this COVID? And I waited a whole week. So I was blaring with this. I could show you right here. Right here is where I could press my finger. The pain never left this area. It never left it wasn't all over my head. It was right here. I was digging my fingers into my scalp. I was putting heating pads on. I was putting ice packs on that area. I was digging myself. Could have digged a hole to China in here. And I should have went for the antibiotics then because there was a sinus infection going on. So finally, after another week, I went to a clinic because I called my doctor's office and she said to me, this goes to show you, my friends, how often I go to a doctor. I had a doctor in my plan, and the same doctor takes care of my mother, my father, my cousins. I mean, seriously. But I never went. So I called and I said, yes, I am a patient. And she goes, I don't see you here. I go, well, you've seen my mother, and I mentioned her name, and my father-in-law, I mentioned his name. She goes, we don't have you in here. I go, well, can I just come in and see him? She goes, not now. She goes, you're going to have to wait till January. And I went, uh-oh, that's a problem. So she says, but go to the clinic, which is right by my house too. So I went to Geisinger Clinic. And I walked in there, which was a 3-hour wait. Oh, it was terrible. 3 hours, people are in their cars. The place inside was a mob scene. I don't even have to tell you. But at least I went in, and when I spoke to Joe, the doctor, who said, call me Joe. I was like, okay. And he said to me, which was I found really strange, because he said to me, are you sure you have COVID? I said, I took the test and I checked the thing, and it said, yes, I have COVID. And I waited 3 days before I took that COVID test, by the way, just so that you know, the ones that the government sent us all. That's funny. The one that the government sent. So I figured I'll just wait 3 days. I'll wait 3 days just to see. But then I was getting progressively more and more worse. So I'm like, okay, maybe I should take it, because my daughter was like, Ma, take the test. So I did. And then it turned out to be COVID. I was like, okay, there we go. And what was I saying? Oh, gosh, I can't remember now. Okay. Counted up to old age. Anyway, so I did that, and I spoke to Joe. I think he was a DO. But he was really nice, and he said to me, well, do you feel you have the flu, or do you feel like you have COVID? And I said, well, I took the test, and it said COVID. He goes, well, you know what? Sometimes you could get a false positive, but I know the difference between a flu. I've had a flu before, many, many years ago. And you know that nauseated feeling you can get with the flu and stuff like that. I wasn't having any of that. And the test said that I had COVID. So I was like, I'm going to go by what the test says. And it felt like a really, really bad cold. That's what it felt like, a bad cold. So when he gave me the Z-Pack, I was thrilled. And let me tell you something, friends. You know the prepper in me, right? You should know by now. I don't tell you this for you to do this, but because I'm a prepper. Had he not given me any kind of antibiotics, because, one could be viral, one could be bacterial, they let you know all that stuff. But when I told him the stuff that was coming out of my sinus cavity, he was like, oh, right away. He was giving me an antibiotic. But had he not, between you, me, and whoever else is listening, there's a PetSmart right by my house. And I would have went into the fish department, and I would have gotten amoxicillin in the fish department. Oh, yeah, they sell it. And they sell tetracycline also. Yeah, they do. I don't tell anybody to do that, but had he not given me, and I knew I was having a sinus infection, and had he not given me an antibiotic, I would have went over to PetSmart, would have gotten the amoxicillin that they sell in the fish department for bacteria, and it does say it right on the box, amoxicillin, 500 milligrams. I would have gone and taken it. I would have taken it because I would have felt like I had no choice. But that's just the prepper in me. I'm not advertising that or telling somebody else to do that. But the prepper that lives inside of this head, yeah, I would have done it. But I knew I had an infection, and I knew he'd give me an antibiotic, and he gave me a Z-Pack. So that wasn't too bad. So now I feel better, thank goodness. Of course, I'm not going anywhere. Now, I will be going to the dentist on Thursday. I have an appointment on Thursday at 1 o'clock. This is the oral surgeon. And because they have to put 2 posts here in the front. 2 posts. I had the... Come on now. Help me. I had root canal. I had the root canal done a couple of years back, but then the tooth turned black. So, and you know this because I've told you, but now the tooth next to it also needs to have a cap, a crown. So I'm going to him to have, this is just supposed to be a meet and greet. He better not charge me for this meet and greet is all I have to say. But we're having a meet and greet on Thursday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And he's going to put he's going to talk about putting the posts into the tooth so that the crowns can go on. Now, the crown appointments are not like one's till December 20th. The other one is like in January. Well, I'm hoping to move that up. So if I can get this guy to nail me down with the date that he could do the posts, and it's sooner, then I know if I call the office of my dentist, I will say to them, make some phone calls, because they did the last time when I cracked the tooth. They'll make phone calls to see if people are not showing up, and then I'll slip myself right into that appointment. I'd like to get it done before 2023. So I'm going to go do the little meet and greet on Thursday. And I think the next time I go out will be to vote. Because if you haven't decided to go out and vote, I don't know what you're waiting for. Our country's in trouble. Go out and vote. Just go vote. Because I know I'm going to do it. And I do it in person. And let me tell you my routine. May I? May I? This is what I have done forever. I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Our poll place opens at 7. I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I do the hair, I do the makeup, I get dressed, the whole nine. As though I'm going to a place that's so exciting. I had to cut something out of there because I said something, I shouldn't have. Oh my gracious. Then after I vote, I always go to McDonald's. I know, this is my routine, people. I go to McDonald's. I order myself a big coffee, large. I go home. I get all my accoutrements done. I get everything that I need to get done, okay? Sipping on my coffee. Then when I'm all finished doing everything around here, I put the television on. And it's an all-day news day for me. And I watch the returns all day, all night. I listen. It's been something I have done my entire life. I love doing it. Now, let's get over another thing. Let's talk about something else, too, because you need to know. Because I don't bullshit you know that. And I'm not a liar. I don't come over here to lie to people. I have left doing the plant-based thing. I left it when I got sick. When I got sick, my mother's going, have the chicken soup, have the Mrs. Grass, and already I'm having these complicating issues going on in my head. And then I thought, I'm having the Mrs. Grass. I'm doing it. My girlfriend brought Polish meatballs to my house, which I have to say were absolutely delicious. And I never lost my taste of smell, and I never lost my taste, okay? I know sometimes that can happen with COVID, but I didn't lose anything that way. I didn't lose any weight either, but I didn't lose, that taste and smell of stuff. So it was delicious, right? And then she made me a lemon meringue pie, and I'm the only one that likes lemon meringue. So to my girlfriend, Virginia, I love you. That pie was absolutely delicious. Oh, yeah, every day a piece. Yeah, I ate it because my girlfriend made it, and I'm not throwing it out. So, and then my husband was bringing me yogurt this week because I needed that. I wanted yogurt because I was taking the Z-Pack. And I went, oh, I didn't realize I missed yogurt as much as I did. I like yogurt. I always did. And then I was having chicken, and I had a piece of pork from a pork roast, and it was all delicious. And I went, you miss this stuff. You miss, and I miss cooking. And I miss cooking for you guys, too. I miss it. I like cooking on camera, but I like cooking not only vegetables, but I want to cook like a meal or an Italian meal from scratch. And I miss doing that. So, sorry, but I'm off of the plant-based thing. I really am. I'm off of it. This is my journey. When it comes to dieting, it's my journey. Mine and mine alone. And either I'm going to, I can say to anybody, at any size, I love myself. I do. And I know for health reasons, you're better off being thinner. But if I never get there, and this is what I'm going to be for the rest of my entire life, if I'm going to be this pleasantly plump little woman, then that's what I'm going to be. I'm not going to make myself nuts anymore. I'm 63. How much more nuts do you want to get on dieting? Let's be real. Do you want to make yourself crazy? I don't. I still live my life. I do exactly what it is I want to do. I'm not ashamed, embarrassed of anything. I go out. It's like I've never changed who I was. That's what I'm saying. And if you're having a problem with weight, and the only problem that you're having is because of self-esteem issues, that's a whole other problem. I never had a self-esteem issue. I would get up and sing in front of an audience. I would get up and speak in front of people. It did not make a difference to me. So I'm just sitting back. I'm going to let this thing take its course. So tonight I made a meatloaf. So if I have that and some vegetables, is that really going to hurt me? Nah, I don't think so. I think if I sat down and ate a bowl of ice cream and a big piece of cake and a bowl of ice cream, that would hurt me. But not a piece of meatloaf and some veggies. You know, even I have enough common sense to realize that's not the thing that's going to, take you over the edge. The snacking does, like the crackers, the chips, and things like that. The candy, that's the stuff you have to stay away from. For me to stay away from a piece of chicken, a piece of turkey, a piece of meat, I'm like, why? It's not that big of a deal. And it's not. I do like my vegetable dishes, though. Don't get me wrong. I do like them. But I was getting so sick of rice. I swear to God, I was getting so sick of rice. I don't want to see another bowl of rice at all. Not for a very long time. And that goes with potatoes, too, to be honest with you. I don't mind a yam, but white potatoes, I'm like, I'm done for a while. And if I'm going to have potatoes, typically I have the air-fried potatoes. And the potato, believe me, if anybody that's listening to me right now, is not the enemy. It's not the enemy. A pound of potatoes is only 300 calories. You tell me where that enemy lies. It lies with the crap you put on top of it. But a plain potato, a pound of potatoes, is not going to be your enemy. It's just not. And I'm not going to eat a pound of potatoes if I'm having a piece of meat or a piece of chicken. I have a few potatoes, a piece of chicken, a big salad with everything in it. And I'm good. So that's the journey right now that I'm taking. But I wanted to check in with all of you. Maybe this video is going to be a little bit longer. I apologize. But if you're here with me, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the comments, once again, that were honest and truthful. I do appreciate that as well. Oh, let me just show you something. It's right over here. I got these in this morning. Look, I got these beautiful area rugs in this morning, to put in my hall, to my 2 hallways in my house. And I thought they were so pretty. Look at the pattern. Isn't that pretty? I like it. So I found them on Amazon, not like I wasn't shopping while I was sitting at home, please. You have no idea. I was so bored that I'm like, well, what's on Amazon? And I'm shopping away as though, I had nothing else to do. Well, I didn't have anything else to do. So I picked up the 2 rugs. I'm waiting on Friday. I have 2 cases of toilet paper coming. That's the prepper in me. And I have another thing sitting over there, but I'm not going to show you. That's going to be in a whole different video. And that's how I thought I could keep a little warmer this winter, but I'm not unveiling it. I'm not doing it until maybe the next video that I do. Oh, I'm telling you, because they're telling you already that the Northeast is going to have a really bad time with fuel. That's scary. That's scary. I mean, my house is run on oil, let alone the price of the oil. Let's be real there too. But they're saying they're going to run out in 25 days. I don't know what they're thinking. Can I ask you something? Are you better off today than you were 2 years ago? That's the only question I'm going to ask you. Are you better off? My answer is no, I'm not. So I got to make a change, and I'm going to make one. So, what else is going on? Nothing else. Really, nothing else is going on. I hope you go out and vote. It's really important this time. It's really important. Vote, vote, vote. And I think that's all for now, my friends. But I just wanted to catch you up, let you know what was happening. I feel so much better. I do. And hello, not this week because I'm going to be putting up my Christmas decorations. But next week, hello. Ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. I'm going back to the casino. I miss it. And they sent me a beautiful calendar where they said, Denise, if you come on a Saturday, we're going to give you $45 worth of free slot play. And I went, hello, I'm in. You think I was going to stay back from going to the casino? Oh, no. No. It's enjoyable for me. I enjoy myself. So that's where I'm going, even though a lot of you said, Denise, that's probably where you caught the COVID. And I would say, yeah, maybe you're right, maybe you're wrong. I'm all over the place. I'm in stores. I'm talking to people. I was in a doctor's office. So, who knows where something happens. But I'm not going to stop living my life. I don't want to. It's too short to begin with. So, I just want to enjoy my life, go on with my life. But until the next time, my friends, and there will be a next time, I want to say thank you for praying for me. I do. because prayers are everything. To some of my friends that did get COVID and they're going through it right now, I got you. I'm praying for you. And until the next time, be kind to one another. The heart, the heart, the heart. That's all that matters. And I know I will talk to you soon. I can't wait to show you what I bought. My husband thinks I'm a nut job. He thinks I'm crazy. But again, the prepper that lives in the brain said, buy it. So that'll be in my next video. I'll talk to you all soon. Take it easy. Mwah! Bye-bye, my friends.